Hello and welcome back to another episode of the podcast for today. The topic we have for discussion is social media. I kind of forgot what it was for a second, but I did use the random topic generator again, and I got social media. If you have any topics you'd like me to talk about, put them in the description below, because this is a YouTube video, because I upload my podcasts to youtube.com/@podcastboy. Why the boy? Because podcast was already taken. Yeah, I am Mr. Podcast, of course, so social media, am I right? I really don't know what to talk about for this. I use social media a bit. I don't know, like, what counts as social media? No, never mind, it's all social media. Life is just social media, to be honest. Like, but it really begs the question, like, no, it doesn't beg any question. The question itself does not deserve to be begged to. Why does everyone keep begging to question? What does question do? You know, is question like this almighty God that everyone needs to beg to? You know, like what's the deal with that? Huh? Ha ha ha. Funny. That was a joke. Laugh. There's no laugh track because this is a podcast, and I don't have a laugh track button. Maybe I could add one in post. Add like a little laugh track here, you know. That would be, you know, add a laugh track right here, right? Wasn't that a funny laugh track, you know? Anyway, social media. So what are my thoughts on it? I think most people agree that it's bad, but everyone uses it anyway. So it kind of makes it ironic because no one likes it, but everyone uses it because we kind of have to. That's the problem with social media. I want to invent my own social media. Like, not to be popular, not to be like a popular social media, but just one that I can use with like people that I know, so I don't have to use social media, because social media sucks. And if I owned the way we communicate, then like I could control that. I could make it the best social media platform specifically designed for me to talk to people, you know, like direct one-to-one connections, but like it's the perfect interface. Like because every different social media has a different interface, and I'm sure people like some, people don't like others, and that's just how it goes, right? Because you get used to one, and then you try another one, you're like, ew, what happened here? And you kind of get used to that one eventually. That's my experience with social media. I use like Discord or something. When I first tried that out, I had no idea what it even was. Like, I don't know what any of this is, but now I kind of know all of it. I think that's just how it goes with learning stuff, but at the beginning, like, what's the point of it? I don't know the point of it. Apparently you need friends to use it. I wasn't informed on that when I first joined, so I was just staring at a blank page. I've used other social medias too. Discord's kind of been my main one, sort of, forever. Like, I only started using Discord like not a couple years ago, like 1 year ago. Pretty much 1 year ago recently. Yeah, it's been almost exactly a year ago. And it's like, it was weird. You know, social media is just weird. Actually, no, it was 2 years ago. But, yeah, I don't know, social media is not really my favorite thing in the world, though I do know how to use a couple of them. I've never opened Facebook in my life, so that's something I can brag about. But, I think I've opened, at least, all the other ones. I don't have accounts on most of them anymore, but they all kind of suck, you know. They all suck. But I could use them. I don't see why I need to. Why would I need to download? What is the point of Facebook? I don't know. What's the point of Twitter? I don't know. Twitter to me just seems like a news station, but like anyone can post on it. I've used it like a little bit. I'm not too deep in the Twitter pool, haven't dove too deep into it, but from what I know, it's just news from everyone. It's like a Wikipedia page. It's like a humongous Wikipedia news page. Pretty much what it is. Facebook, it's literally just Twitter. Twitter and Facebook are the same to me. I don't even know I know very little about Twitter. I know even less about Facebook, so I'm not even gonna try to understand it. But yeah, that's my take on social media. I mean, it's not the best thing in the world. There's obviously There's probably better ways to talk to people on social media, right? Nope. Social media is media that is social, so any way to talk to someone online is a social media, I think. What is the definition of social media? There's no one here to answer that. It's just me alone just me alone in a room with a microphone, which is, it's fine. It's kind of lonely, actually, now that I think about it. Even not thinking about it, it's pretty lonely, but that kind of describes me as a whole. Anyways, we should get back on topic, not we. Me. I'm the one talking, you're not. You're just there listening while I continue to ramble on, while somehow I never lack the amount of words to say. I always have stuff to come out of my mouth, and that's just kind of how it is when I talk. I just don't stop. If you don't interrupt me, I could talk forever. Like, I don't think there'd be any ending points. Like, I'd probably have like little quiet parts, like I do sometimes on the podcast, like a second of quietness or something. But like, overall, I'm talking. Like, I can talk forever. It's been like 6 minutes, and I'm not even talking about social media anymore. This is the worst topic yet. The sports podcast, I talk about sports a lot of the time. The politics podcast, I didn't talk about politics that much, I remember. But yeah, Alpha Male podcast, that one, I talked about that the whole time, and that was a good one. That was definitely my best podcast yet. This one's kind of fallen off, but what do you think about so? You can't answer my questions. You aren't real. Will anyone see this? Probably not. The odds that someone is going to see this is very low. If you see this, type in the description, "Hey, awesome video." That's it. That's all. Put exactly that. Just say, "Hey, period. Awesome video, period." And I'll know you actually watched the video. Because I don't think anyone is. Like, I really don't. So what's the point of me talking about social media? I could just leave this run for 20 minutes while I just go do something else. Because we're like 7 minutes and 20 seconds in, and like nothing's happened. So, yeah, social media, it's pretty popular, actually. That's the biggest problem with social media, is how popular it is. If it wasn't as popular, I don't think people would use it as much. I know, that's a pretty big, I don't even know what word to use. That's a pretty big what. That's pretty. There we go. It doesn't work, but you know what I mean. That's pretty big assumption to me. No, not assumption. That's a pretty I can't figure out the word to use. I'll keep thinking about it. I guess, because what I said a very obvious statement, right? I said the more popular it is, the more people use it. So, what would be like a sarcastic way to criticize that? I was like, "Oh, that's a pretty bold thing to say." That's pretty much it. It's a bold thing to say, man. I know. I make bold statements all the time. That's why they call me Mr. Bold. They do not call me that. They call me Mr. Podcast. Who's they? I call myself that. No one else has ever called me Mr. Podcast. This is the most boring podcast ever. You could watch anything, but you chose to watch this one. Maybe you're on autoplay or something. I don't know how YouTube works anymore. Is there a better place to upload podcasts? I don't know. I could look that up. I'll do that eventually. Social media. It's very social, even though no one's social on it. It's more of people trying to be popular and failing over and over again, rather than people actually being decent human beings. I think it's funny because like I have 2 subscribers. One of them is myself. So I pretty much have 1, but I know that other person as well. So I pretty much have 0 subscribers of 0 random people choosing to watch this, which is very reasonable. I don't know why you choose to watch practically daily podcasts. Like, that's 30 minutes of your day wasted listening to me ramble. I mean, I guess it's not wasted. Ideally, you'd be watching a podcast while you're doing something else. So hopefully you're not wasting your time just watching this. Like that would suck. Also, most podcasts like show them talking into the microphone the whole time, and whatever guests they have on. But I don't have any guests because I don't know anyone to put on my podcast. Unless they'd all need microphones too. And guess what? I only have one, and I don't know if anyone else can have good audio. I don't know if anyone's capable of that. Because like, I know people are, but are the people that I would like on the podcast, do they have the equipment? Probably not. I don't even know anyone, so it's a moot point. If you want to be on the podcast, just say that you do. You know, if you want to be on it, I could probably get you on. You know, we could talk about something like spaghetti. Maybe we could have a real social media episode instead of just me talking about nothing useful. This is going to be a shorter episode probably to make up for the lack of episode yesterday. Yesterday it was mostly just me talking. Today it's just me filling time. What if I look on a website and look up some social media stuff like I did yesterday? That would be actually pretty helpful because social media is the pinnacle of comedy. So I'm just gonna look that up. Social media. Enter. Just social media. I'm just looking up social media. It's a Wikipedia page. Social media problems. I'm looking up social media problems because I think that would be like an interesting thing to talk about. A complete list of 34 social media problems by Velos. Okay, let's start reading. Social media has a ton of benefits. That's what I'm reading from the site now. At least you trust if you trust the opinions of the crowd. What? I feel like they kind of messed up. It is an incredible marketing tool that has skyrocketed in popularity, but most importantly, it is a communications tool that has completely revolutionized the way we communicate, most often to the better. Their English here is not that good. It's decent, but it's But as with anything, social media comes with its own set of social media problems. They use the term social media twice in this sentence, so that's how you know they know what they're talking about. If you are a regular user of social media, or perhaps someone who's working for a social media marketing agency, chances are you face some of them already. And if you've been updated with news, it's almost impossible to have missed news about people who had gotten themselves into dangerous situations as a result of social media and more. This is the worst. Okay, I'm just going to read out the bullet points. Read them all out in bullets. First one, cyberbullying. That's the biggest problem with social media because people can get bullied. You know, if you're getting bullied online, just like turn off your phone. I mean, I get it. I mean, I know it's a real thing and it sucks, but at the same time, just don't get bullied. You know, if someone's bullying you in real life, just walk away, bruh. Just don't go to school, idiot. I'm kidding. Obviously, these are bad things. It says 1 in 4 students report being bullied during the school year. What does it have to do with cyberbullying and social media? It says most students won't report bullying, and 64% of victims don't report bullying. How do they know? How do they know who doesn't report bullying? You only know the people that report it. You can say, oh, this person didn't report it. Like, what do you mean? It says 90% of students who are bullied offline are also bullied online. So that kind of it kind of speaks less about the bullies themselves, but more of the bullied. It kind of shows how crap they are of people if they're getting bullied both online and in real life. So that kind of, well, no, it sucks. It does suck, but like, you know, it says looks, body shape, and race are the most common reasons for bullying, and that is the reason why you won't find my face anywhere on the internet. Hopefully. I hope so. Hope you can't just find me. I'm probably somewhere, but I don't think you can find me just by like watching this podcast. You won't be able to find me. I hope. It says students who are bullied are twice as likely to suffer from anxiety, depression, and other health issues. That makes sense. If you're bullied, you're more sad. Yep. And you're more anxiety means scared pretty much. Worried. You're more worried. You're worried you're gonna get punched in the face when you wake up, which that's reasonable. Students that bully are at greater risk for academic problems, substance use, and violent behavior, both now and later in life. Well, I'm going to give you a bit of my own knowledge. They're at risk for academic problems because they're busy bullying people and not busy doing their exams. Like, stop bullying. You don't have time for that. Bullying does not count towards class hours, so I don't know what you're doing. What you can do, you can take a stand. It's not a JoJo reference. More than half of bullying situations end when a peer intervenes. So if someone's being bullied, get in there and get your hands dirty, and then you'll end up getting bullied too. So that works, apparently. Start a program. Oh no. Schools with bullying prevention programs can reduce bullying by up to 25%. Whoa! That's pretty crazy. Bully prevention programs? Like, that sounds like a good idea, but I have no idea what, like, it would do. Like, how do you do that? How do you prevent bullying? I don't think it's the most preventable thing. I mean, 25% isn't that much anyway, but it's better than nothing, so... if you want to reduce bullying, start a program in your school. Get everyone involved. Another step. Effective bully prevention involves everyone. Students, parents, teachers, and community members. So if you want to stop bullying, get everyone involved. Or else. Number 2, social media addiction. If you, whatever. There's another infographic here. Are we addicted to social media? Under 25 years old, 11%. What does this mean? Under 25 years old, 11% is addicted to social media. And over 25 years old, only 6% is addicted to social media. I think. No, that's not what it means. I get it now. I'm reading it better. Under 25 years old, 11% can be interrupted by an electronic message during sex. Oh. I thought it just meant addicted to Well, 49% of people under 25 years old can be interrupted by an electronic message during a meal, but only 27% of people over 25 years old can do the same, interrupted by a meal. Under 25 years old, 24% can be interrupted by an electronic message while in the bathroom. Under 25 years old, 22% can be interrupted by an electronic message during a meeting, whereas 12% in the bathroom for over 25 and 11% during a meeting in over 25. So I don't really know about Twitter. 28% of iPhone users check/update Twitter before they get out of bed. Oh no, that kind of sucks. Why are you wasting your time? 26% of iPhone users check/update Twitter before they turn on their TV. Just do it while you're watching TV. You have nothing better to do aside from watch TV. How invested are you in the TV that you can't check Twitter while doing that? 23% of iPhone users rely on Twitter for their morning news. I said this earlier. Twitter is pretty much a news page. It's a Wikipedia news. So it's stupid. 48% of people check/update Facebook and or Twitter after they go to bed. After they go to bed? How are they updating it when they're sleeping? Let's not get held up in the details. Number 3, content is never deleted. Despite what you might think, no content is ever deleted and erased completely. This means that it is crucial that you are really thinking about what you're posting. So if you're going to post a podcast, make sure you don't talk about anything too personal. Not only is your content you share on social media databases stored for a long time, but if you have shared a post and then deleted it, there's also a risk that people have already seen it. Oopsies. Number 4, sleep deprivation. Oh no. Another social media problem is sleep deprivation. Silly website. I get social media deprivation anyway I get sleep deprivation anyway without social media involved. So, in fact, it is found that social media can lead to sleep deprivation, especially for teenagers. So if you're a teenager, watch out. Imagine being a teenager. Number 5, damage to companies and employers' public reputation. Okay, sure. Number 6, a digital footprint. This is the same as deleting. 1. Sometimes something that you really need, something that you need to realize on social media is that you're never actually unwatched. The English here is horrible, and with every single action you take, you leave traces after you. Oh no. Number 7, discrimination in hiring. What? You're probably no stranger to the fact that more and more brands, HR departments, and companies look at the social media accounts and presence of people before they hire them. Little do they know that they can't find this podcast. It's not tied to my name. Hopefully. Companies have found this tremendously helpful in the hiring process, but you also need to be aware of the social media problems that come with this. Yeah, well, I don't know, that makes sense. Social media can lead to FOMO, fear of missing out. Well, no shit. We've probably all felt this to a smaller or greater extent. In fact, this is the reason why many people tend to come back to social media. FOMO, FOMO, or the fear of missing out, is the anxiety that one has caused by the fear of missing out on a social event or any other positive experience, especially one that you've heard about through social media. It's a condition caused by a social anxiety and characterized by a desire to stay continually connected with what others are doing. The issue with this one is that it doesn't really make too much sense. It makes all the sense. Because, why? I don't know. This just seems like an obvious one. Like people on social media kind of post like, oh, look at me, I'm having spaghetti for dinner. And then you're there eating nothing for dinner. You're like, damn. If only I could have spaghetti for dinner, you know? Well, yeah, don't look at social media for that. Don't use it for that. Number 9, sensitive information is leaked. Well, don't put sensitive information on. Among the social media problems, this is a major one, which has caused plenty of problems through the history of social media. The information shared on social media is available for the world to see and is also never deleted nor forgotten, as mentioned earlier. There are a number of different ways in which sensitive information can be leaked, and the first step is being aware of what you are sharing on social media. This is literally the same as the delete one. This is pretty useless. Number 10, sexting. Oh. What about? How is this a problem? No, I'm kidding. Let's read. With the instant and easy communication of social media, this social media problem is one that has increased over the years. This includes sexualized text communication, also known as sexting. Thanks for helping me understand what the word means. This includes sending sexually explicit messages or suggestive images. Don't do this. Don't do this. Yeah, I don't know. I do know, actually. Don't. There are lots of ways this can play out, but a danger is if you are sending it and then it is spread on social media. Oh yeah. The problem with this one is if you say something like that to someone, they can put it out for the world to see, which I guess makes sense. But like, don't send sexually explicit messages or suggestive images, as I said earlier. Don't do that. Don't do that unless, I guess, maybe you can. I mean, do it only if if you know the person won't send it to everyone. You know, use your best judgment. But it says, moreover, it can have a negative effect if you're looking for jobs and then images are found. Well, yeah. In fact, a survey found that 19% of females aged 13 to 19, and 32% of women aged 20 to 26 had sent nudes or semi-nude pictures. Call me crazy, but that's a really high percentage, especially for the first one. Can we get that down a bit? Can we reduce that number significantly? Hopefully down to 0, at least for the first one, because that's not legal age. So, yeah, that's not good. This has became a real downer of an episode now, hasn't it? You can also have legal consequences here, it says. Obviously. I think I just said that. It says, as it is a crime, according to the Protection of Children Against Sexual Exploitation Act, prohibits to send images of that nature to 2 minutes. I think it means minors. But yes, don't. Well, I thought that was a no-brainer. Yeah, don't send sexual images and stuff like that to minors. That is very much illegal. So don't. 11. Legal issues. Social media comes with a large set of potential legal issues which are often neglected, often due to ignorance. More and more brands that use social media in marketing have started developing social media policies and similar, which helps them stay aligned with the laws but also remain slightly aligned with their brand's values and protect themselves from any legal issues. Yes, sure. I don't even know what that's saying. I can hardly comprehend. Number 12, using social media during work. This one seems like a reasonable one. With social media addiction and the fear of missing out, frequent usage of social media comes as a result. People want to stay updated often and frequently, and in many cases, this might include using social media at work. If you're at work and you have work to do, don't do social media when you should be working. Same for like everyone. If you have something that you have to do right now and you're not doing that and you're busy social mediaing, stop it. Stop social mediaing. Unless your social mediaing is listening to my podcast, in which that's perfectly fine. 13. There's a lot of noise. I agree with this one, but not for social media. Like, what does that even mean? The social media problems when it comes to using it as a marketing tool are quite a few, but in those cases, it's most often the risks instead. A problem, however, is there's a lot of noise on social media. Well, maybe in ads or videos. What does it mean? More content than ever is being shared on social media, and accordingly, it is getting increasingly difficult to cut through the noise. Oh, I don't. Okay, noise as in useless information that you don't need to hear. There you go. That's what... I don't know how I missed that. I am a stupid pants. 14. Copyright. Copyright infringement and unauthorized use of copyright-protected works is a major problem on social media, at least for the owners and creators of the content. Yep, it's an issue. Next one. Obsession with likes and comments. Please, it would really help me out if you kind of liked the video and made a comment, like I said earlier. It really helps out a ton. 16. Endorsements. Now, don't get me wrong, endorsements on social media are no problem. It's the way they're conducted sometimes that the law has opinions on. A problem that both brands and influencers have faced as the popularity of influencer marketing has increased is that endorsements on social media needs to be fully disclosed. Oh, they need to disclose. That's fine. How's this an issue with social media? Disclose, idiots. 17. Social media can lead to multitasking and becoming unproductive. It's not unlikely that you're multitasking right now. I'm not. I'm just recording a podcast while learning information about social media. Multitasking. There is nothing wrong with multitasking. It says it's not unlikely you're multitasking right now. I'm saying I can say that back to you who's watching this. You are likely doing something else while listening to the podcast, because that's literally what podcasts are for doing something else while I talk. You're just using me as background noise. Research has found out that we aren't able to use our brain to its full potential if we are multitasking. Yeah, but multitasking is a skill in and of itself, though. Like, yeah, you're not going to use your brain to the full potential. You're kind of splitting it between things, but at the same time, using like multitasking is a useful tool that you should be developing, as long as it's not being stupid. And if you're a person who uses social media while doing other things, chances are what you're doing won't be done in the best possible way. Yes, so don't do social media while you're working, but multitasking in and of itself is fine as long as it's not with social media. Number 18, fake identities. Among the social media problems, it's one of the most common ones. That's true. Fake identities, don't do that. Yeah. My fake identity is being Mr. Podcast. That's not my real name. I know. I'm sorry for lying to you all, but I'm not actually Mr. Podcast. That's not my IRL name. That's my online name on this channel. So, Dawa. 19. It's incredibly time consuming. I know, right? It's 30 minutes every day, plus the time it spends to edit the videos, which is no time at all. I just take this, paste it into Adobe Premiere, change the number, boom, video edited. Then I put it on YouTube, which takes like 30 minutes. But it is incredibly time consuming. I agree. 30 minutes of video plus text, like that's a lot. Um, yeah. Let's move on. 20. Number 20. Decreases face-to-face interactions. Yep, if you're on social media, you are probably not talking to a person while being on social media. Makes sense to me. Number 21. Social media promotes procrastination. Yeah. 22. Does social media friends mean more friends? This is a question that has been widely debated, but a study found that just because we have more social media friends doesn't mean that we get a better social life. And what's most important is that in order to build a true, long-lasting and memorable relationships, it demands real-life face-to-face interactions in order to keep these relationships. I don't know, that makes sense to me. That checks out. I think it can depend, though. Like, you can have a social media friend that's really a friend to you. You could have never seen them in real life, and they can still be your friend. It's just that that's not, like... I think in typical friends on social media, like the friend button or whatever, that's not friends. Those aren't friends. Like, if you talk to someone constantly and all that, like, sure, they're your friend. You just never seen them. Like, I think that's fine, in my opinion. 23, removes privacy. Yep. 24, social media is addictive. I feel like we've gone through this multiple times. Yeah, procrastination, like all those things are just exact same points. 25, social media can trigger sadness. I love trigger sadness. Like, I guess so. Studies have been made which have looked at the correlation between happiness and social media. A study found that the most we use it, it's not a sin, that the more we use it, the less happy we tend to be. That checks out. 26, makes us compare our lives. I feel like that's the FOMO one again. 27, proper grammar is forgotten. It is forgotten unless I'm the one that is messaging, because I try my best to have proper grammar. If I don't have proper grammar, it's intentional. It's either to match the person I'm talking to, or it's like, so I don't keep seeming like a robot, because I text in the most robotic way possible. It says, very few people pay attention to their grammar and spelling on social media. If you go to social media, you'll find tons of spelling errors, grammatical errors, and lots of social media slang terms, says the website that messes up grammar in every sentence. Anyways, it shows 2 example tweets, one from Nike support saying, just to clarify, do you have more than one NikePlus.com account? That's proper grammar, and they use proper punctuation. Grammar police. It's next tweet. Okay. It would be better if Nike support had posted, you're more than one instead. Then doesn't compare, than does. Oh yeah, they used the wrong than. Oh, I don't know how did I not see that? You have more than one. Oh no. Yeah, Nike support, they had the wrong then. They said then, not than. Oh, silly Nike support. Now, there are 2 sides of this issue, and whether or not this is a real problem, but many people argue that it is. Yeah, have good grammar, please. It'll make you sound like a robot, but use emojis. Those always help. I love emojis. Helps me communicate my emotion when my text can't, because my text never can because I use proper grammar and punctuation. I should start putting periods at the end of my texts. I used to do that. I kind of stopped because it was weird, because no one else did it. But I should do that again. That'd be cool. It's a neat thing to do. Yeah, I'll start doing that. But yeah, you try to have good grammar. Also, use emojis. They're underrated. 28, jealousy. Jealousy and comparison are 2 social media problems that are very much integrated into each other. Because while comparing yourself to people on social media might mean depression to some, might mean to anger and jealousy to others. Yeah. 29, there's a misconception that social media will help solve our problems. It will not. Number 30, shorter attention spans. Yep. I have a short attention span by reading this article that's posted on social media. That's velosinternational.com/general social media/problems. So you can visit it by just looking up social media problems on the internet. Number 31, limiting thoughts. Social media is a place where you keep it short and concise, almost like a universal Twitter. Yeah, because Twitter is a social media. You silly goose. It says the average span of a... The average human attention span in the year 2000 was 12 seconds. What? How do you have an attention span for only 12 seconds? How? My attention span is infinite. That's why I'm able to record like podcasts that are really long, but and I don't know. My attention span goes forever. So what 12 seconds? What? I expected like a couple minutes at least. But apparently the average human attention span in 2013 is 8.25 seconds. That's even less. A lot less. And it says the average attention span of a goldfish is 9 seconds. Guys, you have worse attention spans than goldfish. You should feel embarrassed. Jeez, what the fuck? What? I don't know, I'm just really surprised. Why? I've been looking at this for more than 8.25, more than 12 seconds. I've been thinking about this for this one since I hit it. This is a surprising one. Wow. It says, since people have short attention spans, we need to keep it short and concise, but otherwise people won't consume the content that we create. Oh no. What do you mean I gotta keep it short and concise? Tell that to the podcast laws that require it to be like 30 minutes plus. It says we cannot therefore express ourselves fully using painting and rich words. In other words, we are limiting our thoughts greatly. I like using big words sometimes because it really helps communicate what I'm feeling. Even though it always gives off the feeling of nerd. But it's helpful. It's helpful, big words. Because they're like, big words are often not used that often, which means that they're really niche. Because the shorter the word, the more common it probably is. Because people are not going to make really big words the majority of words you have to use, because that's stupid. It's a waste of time. But big words mean like it helps get your point across easier. So I like to use those. 32. Social media glamorizes drug and alcohol use. Don't do drugs or use alcohol. Please, if you're watching this, do not do that, because I never will, so you shouldn't either. 33, it prevents us from spending quality time with each other. Yep, because you're busy on social media. It says, if you've ever been in a room of people, almost always you'll see one or two sitting with their phones scrolling through social media. Sometimes that number is considerably higher. That's true. People are on social media way too much in public situations. I am never on social media. That's not true. I am sometimes, but I don't know. It's weird. Now 34. It prevents us to live here and now. Yep, that's literally the previous one. Conclusion. That's about it. The first comment in this article was, who created this article? I agree. No one. Anyways, this was made 2 years ago. 2020. So, that's about all. I hope you enjoyed listening to my podcast about social media. That it really took a while to get into it, but we definitely did at some point. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll try that again. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. That's much better.